What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to the chase for the Sangre Azul as we continue our coverage of the return of Johnny Ridden. Last time, the gang began their search for the Sangre Azul in the debris field near Compe Island. FSS, Yazan, Oxner's team, and Char Aznable converged at the same location, and a new battle ensued. Also, Cristobal seems to have a relationship with the Greenwood family. In this episode, the Sangre Azul makes its way deeper into the debris field, and EFF begins chasing it. Also, we finally see Led and Char fight one another. So let's get into this. Cristobal's unit is badly injured, but the idiot is remaining on the battlefield and no one's retreating. Ingrid is certain that the red mobile suit is Char Aznable. Jacobius hears this and it reminds him of the past. Jacobius speaks to a man named Hughes Marquine Kelvin in regards to Char's new type unit. They talk about how this unit is to be the future of the military, but as an old type, he wonders where they are heading. He then brings to light the true purpose of the Chimera Corps to Jacobius. They're designed to take down Char in case he rebels. He then merely utters Johnny's name. Jacobius has brought up the story of the mythical beast in the past. He says that the mythical beast appears whenever he appears, referring to Johnny Ridden. He wonders if he is the key to stopping Char. Jacobius begins working with his former Chimera Corps teammates. He gets Ingrid to work together with him, while Emma is still scouting and sending back data to the Nikaya. Cristobal is dead in the water, so he heads to the Sangre Azul. Jacobius acts as a commander. He exudes confidence and his former teammates listen to his commands to help take down Char. While Char is fighting, Danton is kicking back, collecting data. Meanwhile, Hoover notices Led flying out into the debris field. Hoover tries to contact Led, but his laser comms lose direct connection. He tells Dicot to go faster, but they have to take a different route around the debris field. Cristobal makes it to the Sangre Azul, while Char and Ingrid continue their melee battle. Yazan gets real close to Char. He realizes that Ingrid called this man Char with no hesitation. Yazan is very much locked in and focused on Ingrid's new type abilities. So much so that he uses Ingrid's reactions as a litmus test for how he should react in situations. This is the closest we have seen an old type keep up with a new type. Yazan recognizes that if you can't be the fastest, focus on how the fastest person reacts. And for him, that is Ingrid. Simply following Ingrid's reactions seems to allow him to keep up with new types. Yazan wants to know if he was the man who piloted the shiny gold machine back in the day. Of course, he is referring to Quattro's Hyakushiki. Wonder what happened to that guy. He probably hasn't forgotten about the death of his friends Ramses and Dunkel. These were his Humbrabi wingmen in Gundam Zeta. They were barely in the show, but had a more prominent appearance in the Zeta compilation movies. His prototype beam rifle is overheating way too quickly. Cristobal is able to open a hatch on the Sangre Azul. He is amazed that Remia brought back power to the ship. Remy gets a notification on the airlock being open. She brings up the camera where she notices Cristobal. The Musaka captain notices that there is a Federation fleet approaching them. Neo Zeon launches their mobile suits. The Musaka makes it to the battle. Char wants his team to buy them a little more time. He actually isn't after the Sangre Azul and is just trying to prove something. Danton notes that he has never seen Char this happy before. Danton realizes that Arlette was trying to give the captain this moment. Siemens and his team notices the fighting happening at Compe Island. He is frustrated by what his teammates are doing, as he thought they were just running training exercises. Siemens wonders if he should go help his wife and comrades. He asks Millie if the Skier is ready, but she is going to need more time. Siemens and the gang decide to launch to help Emma and Cristobal. On the Sangre Azul, Cristobal and Remia meet. We flash back to the one-year war on Earth. Cristobal is a part of Roy Greenwood's mobile suit team when he gets word that he is transferring to the Chimera Corps. He tells him that space is a lot more vast than the desert. Cristobal zones out for a second, but then he comes to help Remia. He assumes control of the helm while Remia focuses on the rest of the ship. Yazan is still wondering if this is the guy from Jaburo back during the Grips conflict. It does seem like the Grips conflict was a long time ago, but it was only 3 years ago. He makes some wild maneuvers to give his overheating beam rifle some time to cool down. But Jacobius is watching with his eagle eyes and notices what he is doing. As Yazan and Char melee fight, an explosion goes off. It is Uma Lightning and his Gyan Eos. He finally caught up to Jacobius. Uma is able to get Yazan to help FSS and the Chimera Corps to fight against Char. The battle wages on as the Musaka makes it to the battlefield. A random Compe Island Salamis, which was sent out to scout, has the opportunity to seize the Sangre Azul, but the captain recognizes that this battle is above his pay grade, and he says that it would be embarrassing for them to survive the one-year war only to die at some local dispute. He turns the ship around and heads back to Compe Island. As he heads back, he says that the Federation just needs to think they are working. They don't actually have have to work. This captain knows his way around Federation bureaucracy. Remy and Cristobal are going to have to vent the ship as it is overloaded by the nuclear reactor. Once they vent heat, they will be seen, so they will have to activate the thrusters and take off instantly, or they will be spotted. The Chimera Corps notices this and moves into action. Jacobius tells Emma to guide the Sangre Azul out of the range of fire. If Char chases her, Jacobius will respond. Uma and Ingrid tag team Char, but he is able to hold his own. The two try to hold them off until Led gets there. Char tells Danton to fire off a flare. They group up and head towards Char. Meanwhile, Remia and Cristobal are ready to fire the thrusters. They fire them off and slowly try to move outside of the Solomon area. Compe Island commanders notices that the Sangre Azul changed trajectory and is leaving the area. They send out more ships to chase. Char damages Ingrid's heavy Gundam. Kawase and Valenstein make their way to Yazan's location. He tells his wingmen to get Ingrid out of here as she is injured, though she's hesitant to leave. Normally, Yazan would just kill anyone who gets in his way, but he has to protect the princess for Gop's sake. She wants to continue, so this is the only warning Yazan gives her. He leaves injured members of his pack to fend for themselves. She decides to listen and head back. Remia sends Emma the Zanzibar's identification code so allies can recognize the ship. Char goes after the Sangre Azul. Uma chases him. However, it was a distraction. He changes direction and blitzes towards the Musai. Ludwig left himself open. However, before Char could take down Ludwig, Led finally comes in. Yazan wonders why he didn't sink it. It seems that Char is just doing the bare minimum to show Horst that he tried this option. He really wants to drop an asteroid on Earth. Ludwig wants to move in regardless of their lack of skills, but he is told to retreat by Led. Xeon remnants, man. Their first instincts are to always go for the suicide play. Emma has escorted the Sangre Azul to a safe distance. Communication becomes spotty via laser comms due to the debris, so they are most likely about to lose communication with the others and will be left to fend for themselves. Led tells Uma to clear a path and head back to the Nikaya. He also tells Ludwig and his Musai crew to meet up with the Sangre Azul and to stop trying to kill themselves. Led and Yazan eventually agree to work together to take down the Red Comet. He tells Led that FSS is footing the bill for his services. Char notices that they are starting to work together. Meanwhile, Simmons and their crew head towards Compe Island and start to get a handle on what exactly is going on. Siemens is on standby, recognizing that he can't run from his past. He is reminded of a man named Hugh Markeen Kelvin. Remember, Siemens' crew is in possession of the original Chimera. They're living under the shadows of their old commander, Hughes. He has popped up in a flashback, but hasn't served a purpose until now. Gannon says that this must be the Zabi's instrument of revenge. Myers says that time will surely keep moving forward until, at last, we arrive at the final day in history. These are the words of Hughes, and Siemens wonders if Johnny and Asia were right. Well, that's ominous. Which one of these three are gonna die? Siemens, Myers, and Gannon launch. Uma continues towards the Nikaya while Jacobius takes aim and fires at the Musaka. On board the Musaka, Arlette notices the precision shot that just took out their main cannon. She tells the captain to quickly take evasive maneuvers. He does so just in time, and the bridge barely misses Jacobius' second shot. Jacobius wonders if there is a new type on board the ship. He gets in closer where he is met with Danton. Led and Char continue their dance. The Red Comet tells Johnny to join him. Led gets another flashback of Johnny Ryden's memories. It was a time where Johnny met Char during the 1-year war. Johnny was trained to take down the Red Comet. Char suggests that he use those skills to help Char rather than fight him. Led gets another one of Johnny's memories, this time of Asia. He hears on the radio to get a hold of himself. That is when a fuel tank comes barreling in towards the two fighting. They get out of the way before it goes up in flames. Simmons' team just gets a short message informing them that they need help. They notice a mobile suit with the Sangre Azul. Simmons is certain that it is Emma. EFF is starting to follow the Sangre Azul as they make it deeper into the shoal zone. They will most likely try to reclaim it. Siemens and his team have to stop them before EFF gets to the Zanzibar. However, Siemens doesn't know this for certain. This is all assumptions based off of the minimal data they were given. Going in blind is never fun. Regardless, they know that EFF will get there before they do. The only thing they could do is use the skewer to fire from a long distance. This would be easy if it were Jacobius, but Simmons isn't the best sniper. He asks Millie how many shots he has. She says theoretically he has 5 shots, but doesn't recommend pushing it past 3 shots. Wait, did that just say theoretically? Siemens takes aim and fires. It is going to take a while to reach them. The megaparticle beam helps Ludwig know which direction to head in the debris field. Since he fired from so far away, the EFF fleet can see it coming and can dodge. It is designed to be a distraction to slow them down, but EFF can only see the beam blast and not exactly who fired it. It works as it makes EFF question whether to go after the Sangre Azul. They decide to retreat, but EFF also decides to stop playing this game with the others, pretending to do military training exercises. Konpei Island raises their defenses and sends a blanketed message to everyone telling them to vacate the area. Char gets intel about the Musaka. He decides to retreat to help his ship. That is when he activates his Psychomu. His speed and reaction time are too much for Lead to handle. Char slices off the Gelgoog's limbs, just leaving the cockpit. Yazan is watching and notices that Char is nothing like last time they fought. Lead is left stunned by Char's power. And that will do it for this episode. The Sangre Azul is safe from EFF and Neo Zeon's hands, but our core crew is still on the chase as Emma, Cristobal, and Remia are left defenseless in the shoal zone. I'm sure most of you noticed this, but this is where the fanbase translations start to fall off and become utter garbage. So I will have to translate these myself moving forward, so expect a slower release of Johnny Raiden videos as we get closer to the finale. Next time, Gop does something that he rarely ever does. Leave Earth and head into space. And we learn that Char fought in the last battle, so Arlette could obtain the data to create Sazabi. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, find yourself someone as loyal as Zeon Remnants. Peace.